traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I would also like to recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kma'ki known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years. I'd like to invite everyone to please rise for the entrance of this year's Medal of Bravery recipients and today's speakers. Thank you. Please be seated. Good morning, Premier Houston, honored guests, Jared Hunt, Richard McPhee, Ryan O'Shea, and Scott Rafes. Medal of Bravery Advisory Committee Chair Tom Steele, family members, and guests. I'm pleased to welcome you to the presentation of Nova Scotia's Medal of Bravery. I would now invite everyone to please stand for the playing of O Canada. Please be seated. We are here today for a very special reason, to recognize 4 remarkable Nova Scotians with one of our province's highest honors, the Medal of Bravery. This is my first time meeting these individuals, and I have to say it is an honor. Hearing their stories, the split-second decisions they made, the courage they showed without a moment's hesitation, they are true acts of heroism that no doubt all of us here will remember long after this ceremony ends. They stepped forward because someone needed help, not for recognition, not for thanks, simply because it was the right thing to do. The truth is, emergencies don't wait for the right people to be nearby. They don't pause until trained professionals arrive. In those critical moments, when every second matters, ordinary people can make an extraordinary difference. And each of today's recipients did exactly that. It's hard to define what makes a hero, but when you meet one, you know. Today's honorees are living examples of bravery, compassion, and selflessness. That is why the Medal of Bravery exists, to acknowledge people who put themselves at risk to help someone else, and to say on behalf of the province that their courage matters. Their actions matter, and we are all truly grateful. I'd like to thank the Chair, Mr. Tom Steele, and the Medal of Bravery Advisory Committee, and many of them are here today, for their work on what I'm sure is a very difficult selection process. I would also like to acknowledge all of the Nova Scotians that were nominated this year for this prestigious award. Their nominations may have not met the requirements, but their bravery also deserves our thanks. And now to the awards. I would ask Premier Houston and Mr. Steele to come forward to make our presentations. Our first Medal of Bravery recipient is Jared Hunt. In the early morning hours of January 11th, 2025, Jared Hunt was alerted by his daughter that the house next door was on fire. Mr. Hunt immediately rushed over, and when he learned that a man and 3 children were still inside, he made the quick decision to enter the smoke-filled home on his hands and knees. Unable to see through the thick smoke, he felt around till he found an unconscious man, who he was able to drag out the door to safety. Tragically, 3 young lives were lost that day, but the neighbor, his wife, and 1 young child survived. Congratulations and thank you. Our next Medal of Bravery presentations are to Richard McPhee, Ryan O'Shea, and Scott Rafuse. On February 14th, 2025, Richard, Ryan, and Scott learned that 2 fellow snowmobilers had not returned after a ride in the Cape Breton Highlands. Due to deteriorating weather conditions, the 3 men became increasingly concerned. Knowing the trails, they decided to search themselves that evening. After a difficult search in harsh conditions, they found one of the men and gave him much-needed assistance until he was able to get to safety. Later that morning, the men assisted the major search and rescue operation that was underway and helped to find the other man. Congratulations and thank you. I would ask Jared, Richard, Ryan, and Scott to now rise. On behalf of all Nova Scotians, I want to extend our profound and enduring gratitude. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the Nova Scotia Medal of Bravery. Please be seated. I would now like to invite the Honourable Tim Houston, the Premier of Nova Scotia, to say a few words.
Thank you so much. What an honour to be here today. Certainly, as Premier, I have the privilege of presiding over a number of events across the province. But I have to say, the Medal of Bravery ceremony is certainly amongst my favorites. So it's an honor to be with you. You embody everything it means to be the Blue Noser spirit we talk about. We step up and help each other. And I loved how uncomfortable you were with all the attention that you were getting as well. That's also kind of it. So congratulations. I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm proud to be in your presence. I'm proud to be with each of you today as we recognize four heroes, four true heroes: Jared Hunt, Richard McPhee, Ryan O'Shea, and Scott Rayfuse. On behalf of all Nova Scotians, thank you for what you've done. I'm actually blown away by your actions and the circumstances that you've faced, and your willingness to put your own life on the line to save others. It's a remarkable thing, and I know that you did it without a second thought, and that's a truly admirable trait. Jared woke up to find his neighbor's house on fire, and without any protective gear, went into that burning home, not once, not twice, I think 3 times, multiple times, over and over, and saved somebody's life, saved the life of your neighbor who otherwise may not have survived. It's a remarkable thing. Thank you, Jared, for that. Richard, Ryan, and Scott made the decision that waiting until the morning, that was not an option. We would have lost 2 souls. So in that moment, braved the elements in search of fellow snowmobilers and ultimately bringing 2 men home to safety. And you were out there in that storm, in those elements, for 15, 16 hours. So thank you for your courage. And these 4 men, these 4 individuals, are now part of a very distinct group. It's a very distinguished and distinct group of Nova Scotians who are heroes amongst us, who act without question, without hesitation, without just a second thought at all, for your own needs in service of others. And recognizing those acts of selflessness is important. It's important that they save lives. It's important for those lives. But it's also important for each of us to remind us how fortunate we are to live in a province like this, in communities like this, where truly people look out for each other. And that is the very reason that the Medal of Bravery was created, to honor those who are willing to put their own lives on the line to save others. So thank you for that. This is now the 15th year for the Medal of Bravery, and with 4 recipients today, bring the grand total to 59. That's a pretty select group, gentlemen. But those are 59 Nova Scotians who were deemed worthy and whose determination and courage made them worthy of the province's highest recognition of bravery. It is an honor, and we are honored to be with you today. I also want to recognize all those other first responders in our communities: firefighters, police officers, paramedics, healthcare workers, all those first responders for their heroic actions and tireless efforts during some very difficult situations on a day-to-day basis, and certainly some difficult times for our province. We thank each of them for their bravery and for their hard work and for keeping us safe as Nova Scotians. And now that you've each received your medal, I want to ask you to take a take a look at the medal, and take a look at the design on that medal, and each element of the design has a very specific meaning. The medal is silver to symbolize peace and sincerity. The lion represents dauntless courage. The banner across it symbolizes the sea and celebration of the sea. And the leaves represent peace and triumph. And the award's blue velour presentation case symbolizes truth and loyalty. So everything on that medal has a purpose, and you should cherish that as we cherish that. Each of the attributes is meant to symbolize your deservingness as a recipient of it. So thank you for what you've done for Nova Scotians. I also want to take a moment to thank all those family members and friends who've traveled to be here today, but certainly those who were present during these experiences, present in waiting for somebody to return after 15 or 16 hours, or present in waiting for somebody to come back out of a burning building. We can't imagine the stress that each of you must have also felt in those situations, and we recognize that today, and we thank you for being here today. We also want to thank those who took the time to nominate these individuals and went through that nomination process. It's because of you that they're here today, so thank you for putting those nominations forward so we could recognize these very deserving recipients today. Of course, to our award winners and nominees, thank you. But finally, to the Medal of Bravery Advisory Committee, led by Tom, and the efforts that you put in. And I'm sure the emotion you feel in going through these applications and living those experiences through the words on the paper. And it's a difficult task to narrow this down. Only been 59 over 15 years, folks. So it's a very difficult task to narrow them down, but they narrowed them down to the 4 that stand before us today. So thank you to Tom and your committee. What a privilege to be here to recognize these award winners. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Premier. I would now invite Mr. Tom Steele, Chair of the Medal of Bravery Advisory Committee, to come forward to say a few words on behalf of the committee.
Good morning, Premier Houston, Minister Armstrong, members of the legislature, recipients and families, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to join you here today in the Red Room to celebrate the 2025 recipients of the Nova Scotia Medal of Bravery. As chair of the Medal of Bravery Advisory Committee, I have the privilege and the challenge of working with my fellow committee members each year to review every nomination with care, compassion, and unwavering commitment to the criteria of this medal. I am pleased that many of you are here today. They bring perspectives from across our province from professions where courage, service, and quick action are understood. As happens every year, the number of nominations far exceeds the number of medals we can award. And I want to acknowledge that reality openly. Every person who was nominated has done something admirable, something that reflects the best of who we are as Nova Scotians. Not all actions meet the threshold of risking one's life to save another, but all reflect a willingness to step forward when someone is in need. For that, we salute every individual whose name was put forward. We remind you that bravery takes many forms, some dramatic, some quiet, and all meaningful. Today, we recognize 4 Nova Scotians who did meet the extraordinary standard required for this honor. Their stories are profound. They are deeply Nova Scotian. When someone is in trouble, whether a neighbor, a friend, or a complete stranger, the heroes among us step up. They don't ask, what will it cost? They only ask, what can we do? I want to extend my sincere thanks to Premier Houston, Minister Armstrong, and the Government of Nova Scotia for their continued commitment to recognizing the heroes among us. This program matters. It ensures that acts of profound bravery that might otherwise only be known within a community or a family are lifted up and honored by the entire province. It reinforces that courage is valued, remembered, and celebrate it. I wish also to thank everyone who took the time to submit a nomination. Without you, many of these extraordinary stories might never come to light. And thank you to the staff who make this ceremony possible, the preparation and the care taken in every detail. Your work is deeply appreciated. To today's medal recipients, you have earned one of Nova Scotia's highest awards. I hope in the midst of the emotion that comes with recalling these events that you feel a sense of pride in acting selflessly, instinctively, and bravely when someone's life depended on it. You are heroes in every sense of the word. You inspire us, and you make this province proud. Congratulations, and thank you.
Well, thank you, Tom. This concludes the official ceremony for the Medal of Bravery. Jared, Richard, Ryan, and Scott, I want to thank you once again on behalf of the Government of Nova Scotia and all Nova Scotians for your bravery. Honored guests, I would like to invite you to stay and enjoy a reception in the foyer downstairs. This is where you'll have an opportunity to meet and greet the Medal of Bravery recipients. Jared, Richard, Ryan, and Scott, before you head down, I would ask you to come forward for an official group photo. Family members who have cameras wishing to take their own pictures, please feel free to do so after the official group photo is taken. To members of the media, I would ask that you connect with Lynette if you wish to speak to the participants in today's ceremony and any of the speakers. If you wish to speak to recipients, Lynette will also set that up. On behalf of the government, thank you all for coming, and once again, congratulations.